this week we heard a plan, which you already alluded to, from the Israeli Defense Minister, Israel Katz, which explicitly says that he wanted to ask the IDF to build what he says is a humanitarian city, what many observers call camps on the ruins of Rafah, a city itself already destroyed by the IDF, where he wants to forcibly move 600,000 people and eventually the entire population of the Gaza Strip. That would be a war crime, wouldn't it?
Not a war crime. I'm not a jurist, but I tell you that it does cohere with Donald Trump's vision of the future of Gaza.
In which case, Donald Trump would be accessory to a war crime.
Well, you're going to have to make that judgment. I'm not.
Well, I mean, let me tell you, under Article 49 of the Fourth Geneva Convention of 1949, quotes, individual or mass forcible transfers of protected persons from an occupied territory are prohibited regardless of their motive. It is very, very clear it would be a war crime.
Well, then you go to court with it. But I'm telling you, this is what's happening
all right, then.
in the field. I mean, I'm not here to make a judicial judgment. I'm telling you what's happening. And what's happening is, yes, the Israeli army has cleared out about 65% of the Gaza Strip. That program that Israel Katz is talking about, the defense minister would require 75%. So another 10% had to have to be cleared out. And then, the ball would be, if
Mr. Oren,
Hamas to the ceasefire, then the ball would be in the president's court.
Mr. Oren, I mean, I understand, I know you're not representing the Israeli government and so on, but just the terms you're using, talking about clearing out the debris for the Riviera and so on. I mean, we're talking about 2 million people here. Can you understand that the way that we talk about these things, it sounds like we're rather indifferent to these people?
Not indifferent to these people, but we are in a war.
But there are rules to war. But there are rules to war, and Israel is repeatedly violating those rules. That plan, as I've just said, would clearly violate international law, international customary law, and the Geneva Convention.
Well, maybe you're a jurist, but I'm not. But I can tell you this as an historian, you got to let me finish, okay? You did invite me on your show. As an historian, I'll tell you that those conventions in 1949 were designed to describe a situation between two warring countries where people wore uniforms. They do not correspond in any way to the reality that Israel faced October 7th or post-October 7th, which is dealing with a terrorist organization.
No, Mr. Oren, that is not true.
That was holding at that time 250 hostages, that was hiding beneath its own population and didn't care about its own population. It's hiding beneath hospitals, mosques, and schools. There's nothing in the Geneva Convention that addresses remotely.
So they can do what they want. Israel can just do what it wants.
No, on the contrary. Well,
apparently, according to you,
and there's tremendous criticism in this country right now.
According to you, they can move 2 million people to a camp from which they would not be allowed to leave, and that would be all right.
Did I say they can? I said they are. Okay, I said that
you wouldn't have a problem with
it's moral. That it doesn't raise serious moral questions. It raises serious moral questions. But we're dealing in an area, even juridically, which is very gray. And it's not covered by
It's not gray, Mr. Oren. It's not, because it says clearly under Article 49 of an occupied territory. It's not talking about two states at war. It's talking about how states might choose
countries at war,
but
not a country dealing with a terrorist organization.
No, that's not true. It is about populations. It is about populations, how a government treats populations even within its territory. It's not just about war against another state. It's very clear.
I see. At the end of World War II, the United States, the Allies, moved millions of Germans. Millions, okay? Not hundreds of thousands, but millions.
And that was before the Geneva Convention was signed in 1949.
Right. So this is an area, and that was war between two countries. That was war between two countries and with armies with uniforms. We're dealing with a juridical area that actually has no precedent. And certainly, even in military terms, it has no precedence, because we're dealing with an army, with an enemy here that not only hides behind a civilian population, it hides under the actual landscape of Gaza. 500 kilometers of terrorist tunnels. No army in history has ever encountered anything remotely like that.